Rhea Ripley's gimmick match for Night of Champions announced. Below are the complete results from tonight's WWE Raw, featuring an update on Rhea Ripley and Night of Champions. Tonight's Raw kicked off with Michael Cole and Corey Graves announcing that LA Knight is out of action indefinitely with a bruised sternum due to the attack by Braun Breaker and Big Bronson Reed on last week's SmackDown. Mr. Money in the Bank Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed came to the ring. Seth said he doesn't care what the fans want and they need someone like him to tell them what is good for them at the end of the day. Seth claimed there are many champions and challengers including John Cena, Gunther, Bill Goldberg, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, and Randy Orton that want to exist at the top of WWE, but they are destined to be in second place because he represents the finish line, and he will always be the endgame. Braun Breaker Def. Penta. During a sit-down interview with Michael Cole, Goldberg confirmed that his match against Gunther is going to be his retirement match. The WCW legend said, "I'm going to beat the F***K out of Gunther." Lyra Valkyria wished Bayley best of luck before her match against Becky Lynch later tonight. Adam Pearce told AJ Styles that his match against Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship will no longer be taking place at Night of Champions due to Dirty Dom dealing with an injury. Later in an interview, Dominic said his ribs hurt and he misses Liv Morgan. Jade Cargill Def. Roxanne Perez to advance to the final of the Queen of the Ring tournament. WWE Raw results. Who advances to King and Queen of the Ring finals at Night of Champions 2025? WWE Raw results. Who advances to King and Queen of the Ring finals at Night of Champions 2025, originally appeared on Athlon Sports. It's time for the go-home edition of WWE Raw ahead of Night of Champions 2025. Monday's episode of the Red Brand will feature two semifinal matches in the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments. Randy Orton punched his ticket to the finals by defeating Sami Zayn on SmackDown. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso will share the ring to determine who faces the Viper in the finals at Saturday's PLE. As for the Queen of the Ring, Asuka secured a spot in the finals with a win over Alexa Bliss this past Friday. Jade Cargill and Roxanne Perez will meet for a chance to clash with the Empress of Tomorrow in the finals. Raw General Manager Adam Pearce will be back on duty, and he figures to have his hands full. Paul Heyman's faction will be in full force on the Red Brand. MITB briefcase holder Seth Rollins is expected to speak, while Braun Breaker goes one-on-one with Penta. Bronson Reed will also make his presence felt on the show. There is also a title match scheduled for Monday Night Raw. WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion Becky Lynch will be looking for her first successful title defense when she collides with Bayley. There is bad blood between the two, as Lynch cost Bayley a spot on the WrestleMania 41 card by injuring her. Also, the Judgment Day has lost Liv Morgan after one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champion suffered a dislocated shoulder. What's next for the faction and the tag gold in the women's division? WWE Raw goes on the air at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and it will air live on Netflix. Athlon Sports will be bringing you live coverage throughout the show. WWE Raw live results. Seth Rollins got the show started, and he was accompanied by Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed. Seth Rollins got the show started, and he was accompanied by Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed. Rollins questioned what the fans want after they cheered for him. Some CM Punk chants broke out, which led to Rollins scolding the fans for being fickle. He said the fans have no idea what they want, so he doesn't care. Rollins took credit for Roman Reigns' rise to stardom. He also said Punk returned to WWE because of him, given their heated rivalry. Rollins even took credit for the second coming of Cody Rhodes, Penta vs. Braun Breaker with Paul Heyman. Penta ducked a clothesline and landed a Hurricane Rana. He then landed a springboard crossbody. With Breaker seated in the corner, Penta landed a stalling basement dropkick. He went for a dive outside of the ring, but Breaker caught him in a slam. Penta was then taken down with a backbreaker for a 2 count. Breaker ran the ropes at high speed and took out his opponent with a clothesline. Breakker then looked at the camera and claimed that Penta has been trying to catch up to him since he entered WWE, with Penta on the apron and Breakker perched on the top turnbuckle. The Mexican star landed a Hurricane Rana. Breakker was sent to the outside. Penta was caught on a dive attempt, but he shoved his opponent into the ring post. Penta then hit a Tope Con Hilo on Breakker. Breakker gained the advantage during the commercial break. He then lifted his opponent up for a gorilla press slam and sent his midsection crashing onto the knees. Penta rebounded with a reverse sling blade. Penta went high risk, but Breakker rolled through and hit a flying knee. He then delivered a Frankensteiner for a near fall. Penta countered the spear with a super kick and landed a DDT before hitting the Mexican destroyer. Penta went for a springboard, but Breakker caught him in midair for a spear. Breakker secured the 3 count. Seth Rollins then warned Penta and told him to stay out of his way. Penta didn't look too receptive to that warning. Dominic Mysterio not ready for Night of Champions. Adam Pearce was speaking to Nick Aldis on the phone before AJ Styles entered his office. Pearce revealed to Styles that Dominic Mysterio is injured and the match at Night of Champions is off. The New Day and Grayson Waller then entered, and Pearce booked them in a match against Finn Balor and JD McDonough next week. Goldberg interviewed by Michael Cole. Goldberg had a sit-down interview with Michael Cole. The WCW legend said he couldn't let Gunther get away with disrespecting him in front of his family last year. Finn Balor fires up the Judgment Day. Backstage, members of the Judgment Day were down due to Liv Morgan's absence. Finn Balor encouraged everyone to stop moping around. He got Raquel Rodriguez fired up and told her to take her aggression out on Rhea Ripley. Mysterio then reluctantly wished Roxanne Perez good luck in her Queen of the Ring semifinal match. Queen of the Ring semifinals, Jade Cargill vs. Roxanne Perez. Perez avoided the action early on. She had Cargill chase her outside of the ring. Perez then delivered a dropkick to the knee of Cargill against the steel steps. Perez went high risk, but she got caught in a fall-away slam. Cargill then planted her opponent with a spinebuster. Perez regained the advantage and went for pop rocks, but Cargill countered with a pump kick. She then landed a powerbomb into Jaded for the win. Rhea Ripley, officially announced for WWE Night of Champions, will face 34-year-old star. Rhea Ripley has been added to the WWE Night of Champions card. It was announced on the latest episode of Raw that she will wrestle Raquel Rodriguez this Saturday, and a stipulation was included. The Judgment Day member cost Mommy a spot in the Women's Queen of the Ring tournament, and the latter did the same to Rodriguez last week. Big Mommy Cool was furious, and she called out the Eradicator on Raw this week. Ripley came out, and the two stars got into a brawl. Raquel Rodriguez pulled out a table and nearly got put through it by Mommy, but Roxanne Perez ran in to make the save. The WWE Women's Tag Team Champion sent Rhea Ripley into the furniture with the Tajana Bomb. Rhea confronted Adam Pearce backstage and demanded a match against the 34-year-old star. The Raw general manager made it official. It'll be Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight at WWE Night of Champions. The two stars will be free to tear each other apart, and they'll be able to use any weapon they want. Liv Morgan won't be there to help Raquel, but Mommy will ultimately have to be mindful of Roxanne Perez. Raquel Rodriguez puts Rhea Ripley through a table on Raw, forms alliance with Liv Morgan's rival. Raquel Rodriguez put Rhea Ripley through a table on Raw tonight. She then formed an alliance with one of Liv Morgan's rivals. Roxanne Perez has been impressive since making it to the main roster. She was the runner-up in the Women's Royal Rumble match this year and even competed at WWE Elimination Chamber 2025. Hence, Finn Balor introduced her to the Judgment Day, which didn't sit well with Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. The former NXT Women's Champion even tried to help Liv during one of her matches against Kairi Sane, but it only cost her the bout. Meanwhile, Raquel Rodriguez began her feud with Rhea Ripley when she cost her the Queen of the Ring tournament first-round match on the June 9th episode of Raw. In retaliation, Ripley cost Raquel her Queen of the Ring match. As a result, tonight on the Red Brand, Raquel went out to the ring alone since Liv Morgan is currently absent. She called out Ripley, who wasted no time in coming out and brawling with Rodriguez. Raquel gained early control of the brawl and even brought a table into the ring. However, the former women's world champion regained the upper hand and was about to hit her with the riptide when Roxanne Perez, Morgan's rival, came out and stopped her. This distraction allowed Raquel to hit the Tijana bomb on Ripley through the table. Following this, Perez helped Raquel up and hugged her, signaling a new alliance. It will be interesting to see how Liv Morgan feels about Raquel's new alliance. Rhea Ripley's former Judgment Day partner reacts to her first anniversary with Buddy Matthews with a two-word message. Rhea Ripley and Buddy Matthews are celebrating their first anniversary. On social media, Ripley's former Judgment Day stablemate Damian Priest reacted by sending his best wishes. Ripley and Priest were collectively known as the Terror Twins. They were members of the Judgment Day with Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and JD McDonough, before being betrayed by the rest of the faction in 2024. At SummerSlam, Mysterio left Ripley for Liv Morgan, and Balor cost Priest the World Heavyweight Championship against Gunther. On Instagram, Priest reacted to Ripley and Matthews celebrating their first anniversary with a two-word message, wishing them on.